I was about to propose to my girlfriend. Then my friends told me she was a joke to them. They passed her around in high school, and that they only introduced her to me as a joke. But I still loved her. I, 25M, have been with my girlfriend, 25F, for 4 years now, and honestly, they've been the best years of my life. She's the kind of woman who lights up every room she walks into, not because she's flashy or loud, but because she radiates this warmth, this joy that pulls people in. She's goofy in the best ways, insanely creative. She's an artist, and always dreaming up wild ideas. From painting murals on her bedroom wall to building a cardboard castle for our cat. I swear, being with her feels like I'm living in a Studio Ghibli film. And even though I'm more of a grounded, logical guy, I've loved every second of it. We met right after high school. My friends had invited me to this casual summer get-together. A mix of people I knew and some I didn't. That's where I saw her for the first time. Sipping soda from a Batman mug and animatedly arguing about whether Batman could really beat Superman. I still say no, but that's not the point. She was so full of life. We bonded almost instantly. Comics, anime, Marvel vs. DC, Dungeons and Dragons. It was like the universe finally decided to match me with someone who got me on every level. We started off as friends, attending conventions, game nights, movie marathons, but it quickly turned into more. And once it did, I never looked back. I fell hard. And so did she. We've built this life together. My parents adore her, maybe even a bit too much. My mom now sends her memes more than she sends them to me. We've had our fights like any couple, but at the core, there's been nothing but trust, laughter, and that deep knowing that we're meant to be. This year, I decided I was going to propose. I even bought the ring. We joked about a geeky wedding before. Me in a Stark suit. Her in a Princess Mononoke cloak, and it stopped feeling like a joke. I wanted it. I wanted her. All of her. So, naturally, I shared the news with my 3 oldest friends. Guys I've known since elementary school. We'd gone through thick and thin together, school fights, first crushes, heartbreaks, late-night pizza runs. But the second I brought up proposing, something shifted. They laughed. Like, hard. One of them even called me a dumbass. I brushed it off at first, assuming they were just being cynical about marriage like they always were. But then the tone changed. "Are you seriously gonna marry her?" one asked, eyebrow raised through the screen during our Zoom call. "You really don't know, do you?" That's when they dropped the bomb. They told me they'd known my girlfriend long before I met her, back in high school, through some mutual friend I'd never heard of. They claimed they used to hang out, party, smoke, play games, and sleep with her. All of them. Repeatedly. I just sat in silence for what felt like hours, the ring box still sitting beside my laptop. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept staring at the ceiling, thinking about every moment we'd shared. Wondering if she knew. If she had played me. If the last 4 years were just built on a lie. But deep down, I didn't believe that. The girl I knew, the one who spent nights painting while humming old anime theme songs, who held my hand during my dad's surgery, who spent hours comforting me after I lost my job, she couldn't have done that. She couldn't have played me. So the next day, I sat her down. I didn't accuse her. I didn't raise my voice. I just said, "I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest." She smiled at first, not realizing what was coming. But when I started talking, the color drained from her face. Her smile vanished. And then, she broke. She started shaking, sobbing uncontrollably. I had never seen her like that before. I don't think I'll ever forget that image. Her curled up on the couch. Arms wrapped around herself like she was trying to hold herself together. Through tears, she kept repeating, "I didn't know. I didn't know it was a joke. I swear I didn't." She told me that yes, she had hung out with my friends before. That she'd hooked up with 1 or 2 of them during high school. But it wasn't some group plan or game. It wasn't some scheme. She didn't know they had talked about her like that. She didn't know they had introduced her to me as part of a test. She said she didn't even realize they were still talking about her until recently. "I thought I left all that behind," she whispered. "I thought I'd finally met someone who just saw me. Not for what I did in high school, not for rumors. Just me. She looked at me like I was already halfway out the door. "You probably think I'm disgusting," she said. "You probably think I'm a slut." I didn't. Not even for a second. But in that moment, I realized she thought I did. I pulled her close. Her tears soaked through my shirt, and I just held her, as tight as I could. "I love you," I said. "I don't care about your past. You didn't do anything wrong. What matters is us. What we built. What we still can build." She looked up at me, eyes puffy, and asked, "You're not leaving?" "Never." That was the only thing I could promise her, the only thing I wanted to promise. She told me she never told me earlier because she was afraid it would ruin everything. That I'd walk away. That I'd stop looking at her the way I do. She said she fell in love with me because I never treated her like a joke. Like a game. I just treated her like a human being. She said I made her feel safe. Seen. Loved. And in that moment, I realized, that's all I'd ever wanted to give her. And nothing, my friend said was going to take that away. I'm not mad at my girlfriend, why should I be mad? She didn't do anything wrong, her past is her past and it's not of my business. Who she sleeps with is none of my concern. My feelings towards her haven't changed, I love her with all my heart, I always will. I'm mad at my so-called friends. Because one being they're taking all of this as a joke, speaking of my girlfriend awfully. And the other being that this all started as a little joke between them. They didn't have good intentions when they introduced me to girlfriend. They simply passed her to me thinking I was going to treat her like a toy or a piece of meat. I'm just shocked, that's what I am. This whole thing has been mentally stressing me out, and I wish I didn't know about it. I love my girlfriend, but I'll admit the thought of her with my friends hurts me. I've cut all contact with my friends these past couple of days. I've been ignoring their calls and texts. And there's a ton of them. I just don't know what to do, I really don't. Also the thought of my girlfriend immediately having sex with my friends kinda bugs me, because me and her took it slow. Maybe she did care about me compared to my friends, and didn't want to hop straight into sex. I also think this because even my friend said she didn't act slutty towards me, that she actually cared about me. You see, these are the stupid thoughts I'm getting in my head and I hate it. I'm personally still going to propose to my girlfriend, I'm not leaving her. I plan to cut contact with my friends and simply focus on my future. If any of you have any advice to share, I'll greatly appreciate it. I definitely need to relax my mind, that's for sure. Update 1. My girlfriend and I are doing well, she's still quite upset about what friends did, but that's perfectly understandable. I've been comforting her, letting her know I'm not going anywhere and that I won't be breaking up her at all. I love her with all my heart, I've been letting her know that constantly during all this. I want her to feel loved and appreciated, because her past being brought up suddenly definitely gave her a shock. I want her to feel loved, that's exactly what I'm doing. My friends are still trying to contact me, but they've also tried contacting my girlfriend. She has no plans to speak to them, even though she's actually cut contact with them when they left to college. I hadn't opened my messages, she hasn't opened hers. There's something I do want to quickly talk about though. I thought about the fear that my girlfriend may have slept with my friends while being with me. But I want to start by saying, my girlfriend actually removed all of them from her social media when they left to college. Her reason for removing them was because she didn't see them as friend anymore. I didn't push her for more explanations, I just left it at that. Every time I went to visit my friends in the other city, she'll never go with me, she never wanted to, she simply didn't want to hang out with them. She'll always stay with her mother for the weekend when I'll leave to go visit. Again, I never pushed for explanations. She simply told me she didn't want to hang out with them, that they all drifted apart since high school. I understood that, as we all tend to drift apart from friends we had in high school. Of course, now we all know the truth why she didn't want to be near them. Then on the aspect of her not telling me about it earlier. Do I really think it could be that easy for her? I can completely understand why she didn't tell me, I 100% understand. She didn't tell me because she was worried I'll immediately judge her, that I'll immediately see her as a slut. She wanted me to get to know the real her, and I absolutely understand that. She didn't want to just have sex with me, She wanted something real. That's why she didn't tell. Lastly, why was I even friends with those guys? It's actually an interesting little story. My parents are friends with all their parents. They all went to school together as well when they were younger. In fact, the same high school we went to. All our parents went to the same school. The only reason I became friends with those guys was because all our parents still kept in contact, so they brought us together. That's how we met. We met very little at barbecues and parties, and stayed close friends for all these years. Update 2. Tomorrow my girlfriend and I will be speaking to my parents. There's some things we need to let them know. As I said on my previous update, my parents are friends with my ex-friend's parents, so we plan to tell my parents the situation before my friends try to twist the story in any way. I have 100% cut contact with my friends. I don't need them in my life. Eventually my parents will ask why I haven't met with them, so it's best to be straightforward. My girlfriend is absolutely comfortable with speaking to my parents, especially since they treat her like family. Hopefully everything goes well. Update 3. Last week, my girlfriend and I decided to speak to my parents about everything that has happened. Initially we thought it isn't a good idea to tell my parents, but we believed it was the right thing to do. We're both worried my ex-friends would try to change up the story, so we decided to approach my parents about this. Like I said on my post, my parents treat my GF like family, especially my dad who's very protective. Wow. It went pretty well. Telling them went much better than we expected. We both were super nervous to even bring it up, but my parents were very supportive and listened to what we had to say. My girlfriend didn't go into so much personal detail. She said that she has history with my ex-friends that she wasn't proud of. My parents aren't dumb. They definitely understood what she meant but didn't pressure her to say anything she didn't want to. We told them we were worried about my ex-friends saying anything first, possibly changing up the story to make my girlfriend look bad. My parents really appreciated that we spoke to them about this. They knew something like this would be tough to talk about. My dad of course was in protective mode asking my girlfriend if she wasn't hurt physically, but she insisted to him that she was okay. My dad works with one of the dads of my ex-friends, so I told him not to bring anything up right now. I did tell him to be on the lookout if any of my ex-friends' dads end up mentioning anything. That'll show us my friends actually did bring up it already. My dad said he'll definitely be looking out if he hears anything. He's being very supportive about all of this. Eventually we'll want my friends' parents to know about the situation if things get messy, but we're a little worried on how they'll react. Overall, all of this went very great. And it made me, especially my girlfriend, very comfortable and more relaxed.